Hello and welcome to the Social Club this week. We are live. Ask the Club is back. So if anyone wondering who's new to it and wondering why we've had this up here the whole time, we used to do this every week. But we've just been trying a few things out in the last couple of weeks, mixing it up and what have you. There are 2 pre-recorded shows that are going to be going out live. I say live, they'll be being made live. They're going on the YouTube channel more or less around the time that we're finished here. So if you want to watch more content, you can do. But in the meantime, we're taking your questions. We put it out on Twitter at Ball Street. For questions, we've got a couple to kick us off, and then we're going to be taking the rest from the YouTube comments. So if you want to ask a question to the club, by all means, do it. We've got Ross on social. He'll be reading them out in a minute. So we start, though, with natural_red_LFC. Can anyone stop City?
I thought that was my question.
No.
Oh, okay, just wanted to make sure. Can anyone stop City? Did we have this question last year?
Yeah.
I think we did.
This time last year.
Exactly this time. I'm going to say one team who can stop City.
Is it Manchester United?
No, it's Manchester City.
It's Manchester.
They're the only team who can stop Man City. But you know what? It's true because they're so good. They score so many goals. It's up to them to balls it up. It really. Don't get me wrong. Man United are looking really good as well. But you look at Man City and think they've got all the tools, all the toys, everything, all the players. We've talked about Sane this week, and you think how well he's doing. But then you look at someone like Sterling. Aguero has probably scored about 5 goals, but no one's even noticed yet. You know what? They've just got so many ways of playing, and it's up to them to balls it up.
I agree on that.
I think it depends on the priorities for City, to be fair. From me, objectively looking in, I think City, if you said to them, Premier League or Champions League, I think they'd go for the Champions League, you know. And I think they'd let Man United run away with it. I reckon they would. Because... I agree with you, but...
I think if it's Man United, I don't think they'll be allowed to.
That could be the fly in the ointment at the end of the season. If their fans start saying, all right, we're going for the Champions League, but we can't be letting these win the Premier League, and that's where football, that's where the mind gets taken out of it and the heart suddenly replaces it.
I just think if they put all of their effort into Champions League, and I think they will, and I don't think Pep's figured out how to balance his team properly fitness-wise. I think United have got a really good chance of just pipping them, and City win the Champions League. PSG, when PSG are just developing and getting up and going, and then they've got their hallmark. Then you've got the crown on top of the jewels, essentially. The jewels on top of the crown, essentially.
I think you look at the balance.
I have no idea what that was.
I think if anyone understood that, by all means, no. I think the balance that both Manchester clubs have got, it's a different balance, but it's one that could equally, you could say, that'll win the league. And for me, it's an attacking sense for Man City. We've done a lot about this already. We've done a video on Leroy Sané, and talking about a guy who's 21, he's just having his breakout season, but you could easily see him not playing for 3 games and then coming in and scoring 3 games consecutive at the back and not be missed. But sorry, Pedro, they haven't yet solved the how to play Gabriel Jesus and Aguero conundrum. But you know what? They kind of did at the weekend. Just play Aguero for this game, and we'll be absolutely fine.
They don't have to solve it.
And exactly, and that's what I think. In an attacking sense, I think they've got the wealth of riches there, which means they'll be fine. But they may be a bit weak at the back, whereas Man United don't quite have the same depth of options in attack. Although Zlatan will help that when he comes back. But they're so rock solid defensively that I think that might be what sees them over the line. It's going to be organisation versus pure raw attacking brilliance.
United are going to be pinning the hopes on Lukaku a lot, and that's not a bad thing because he didn't miss that many games when he played for us. He fitness wise, he can play every game without a problem. And if you motivating him because you've got those trophies to go to the end of the season, that was his big problem with us. He basically switched off in April because there's not much to do after that. But if
look at the goal he scores at the weekend, by the way. I mean, I'm not saying it's a not typical Lukaku, but I mean, it showed his determination to be in there and be that guy. The chance comes back to him, and he's just battling for it, isn't he?
Listen, he's a brilliant centre forward. Anyone who says he isn't is not right in the head. But I think, there are very much 2 different ways of different styles. But ultimately, the Man City way should be more beneficial because they do have more players in the squad. They don't rely on one player, but then when it comes to the crunch, maybe you want that one player just to be, you know, in a game if it drops to Lukaku. But I think it's going to be fascinating now, and I think the most fascinating thing will be how they do balance the Champions League with the Premier League, because ultimately that's been the big problem in the Premier League for 3 or 4 seasons.
The whole Premier League.
Yeah.
No one's been able to go for both because of the challenge.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next question?
Yes, seriously. Sadio says, can Firmino ever be a 20?
Sorry, can I just ask, do you not have like Everton Twitter accounts that do things like that?
Yeah, it's just that both of our questions have both been Liverpool accounts, James.
Yeah, no, mate. Fuming.
Well, actually, that's bollocks, because we had 1878_Steve. We moved to his own segment because you asked.
We did.
Which, if you want to hear about Omar Niasse,
He did.
watch the video.
You framed that completely wrong. If you want to hear about Omar Niasse, if you want to hear about undervalued footballers and should players be written off in general in the whole of sport and life also, if you're feeling down and you feel written off, watch that video. It'll pick you up, pep you up. Not just all about Omar Niasse, Paul.
It's also Ped's topic for the week.
Can Firmino ever be a 20-goal-a-season striker? And do Liverpool need one to compete in all competitions?
I think he can, but not in the way that people think of it. I don't think he's going to be...
Like own goals instead.
What other way would people think of being a 20 goals a season?
So when people think 20-goal-a-season striker, I think they automatically think Aguero, Kane, leading the line. Primary, they mean 20 plus, they don't mean 20 goals, they actually mean 25, 30 in all competitions with 3 assists. That won't be Bobby Firmino's thing. It'll be, if he gets 20 goals, it'll be more like he might get 19. And that because he takes the penalty, if he's taking the penalties as well now.
20 a goal.
I know, yeah, okay. I mean 20 goal as a concept, not as a you have to score explicitly. Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Okay.
No, but you know what surely you know what I'm driving.
Someone who consistently scores goals.
Are you saying he's like not suited to be the outright number 9? Like,
no, because that's not how that's not how we use him. Also, I think I think it's conceivable he'll finish the season on 20 goals in all competitions, though.
Okay.
But I think he'll like 5 or 6 of them might be penalties.
So will that make him a 20-goal season striker?
Yes, it will.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that
But I
up.
think that what I'm reading between the lines in the question, I think what people mean is
it over-dependence?
Exactly, a guy like a Lukaku, a guy you build your team around this guy. We build our team around him, but he is the glue that binds the team together rather than being the tip of the spear.
Just going back to that video we did about Niasse and underappreciated. Does Firmino fall into that category?
He falls more into the category of what we're going to do, I think, next week or the week after, is that players that people don't rate from outside your football club, because we love him to bits. But I think from out the outside looking at it, you wouldn't, because again, he wears the 9 shirt, he leads the line. Why does Mane and Salah get all the goals? Well, because of the work that Firmino does, if that makes sense.
He's a false number 9.
He's a false 9.
He is a false number 9. He wears number 9. Yeah, he's now hiding in plain sight or whatever, because Salah really wanted the 11 shirt.
And
Bobby Firmino,
really white teeth.
He has, and he really clearly wants to spend an entire 24 hours of his life signing fucking 11 Firmino shirts to give back to fans, which is what he had to do.
Why didn't he just buy everyone a new number 9 shirt? The tight bastard.
I don't know.
Genuinely?
You would have got image rights for that, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think financially for Liverpool it worked out better to do that. And it
financially for Liverpool?
But, get on this.
Go on, I'm on it.
It technically works out better financially for the people who bought that shirt and sent it in, because having a signed Firmino shirt is worth, they're like £200, £300 worth of
There's
shirt.
loads of them, so they flooded the market.
Not necessarily. Maybe.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care. I didn't buy one.
Why didn't you just buy
shirts?
everybody a new number 9 shirt?
I don't know me.
He's a footballer. He ain't loads of money.
Yeah.
Look at his teeth. Look at his wedding.
Maybe, yeah. No, it's true.
If there was ever an opportunity to show people that footballers earn too much money, it was his wedding.
Yeah, true.
What did he do?
It was just ridiculous.
It's fine, yeah.
To be fair, if he didn't show himself fingering his wife at the end, it's probably not a typical Firmino deal. He does go too far on Instagram. He does.
He does.
Ross, what questions have you got for us?
Fraser says, do Liverpool need to bring in any past legends to help organise the team in defensive situations?
I fucking hate this. I'm going to say this, and I apologise to Fraser. I don't hate you, Fraser. I don't. But every time something's not going right, every time it's not going right in the football club. And so, do you have this as well, where if they pick an ex-player from the past who would sort out all your problems, the worst thing is...
Mark Lawrenson.
The worst thing is, Arsenal did this with Winterburn, is it? No, not Winterburn. Bold, Steve Bold, come back in to be the problem to all the solution to all the problems, and no.
Well, Jens Lehmann, he came back, and he's not even the goalkeeping coach.
Is he not?
He's just a coach. I think he's just there to beat people up.
You know what I compare it to? Like when you went to primary school, for example. It was a really good primary school, and then you leave, and it goes downhill. So
what? Because you left?
Yeah. So is the logical thing to do to go back and teach in that primary school? No, I'm not a very good teacher. So like, get a decent coaching.
I'm gone. I'm lost.
So get a decent teacher in. A legend is a legend because they used to be a very good footballer for that club, not because they're a good coach.
You just replaced the football team with school.
Yeah,
this and that.
Yeah. I'm not going to go back to my primary school and teach because it was good when I was there.
Right, okay.
You with me? So, logically, it makes no sense.
No, I mean, look, some of it makes sense to some extent because, like, I'll give you an example of it. Like, Jamie Carragher, I think, is a bit of a loss to the football club because he's clearly very tactically switched on. He's a big student of the game. He just loves footy. He's the kind of guy who used to, he'd record all like the Serie A footy on the telly, and on a Sunday night when, I've used the example before, when like Kev Nolan used to be on the piss, Jamie Carragher was at home watching 4 games of Serie A with a cup of Ovaltine or whatever, and the fact that he's done some of his badges as well. I think that's a loss to Liverpool to lose him to punditry because we lost a generation of players to that. The last title winning generation all went into like fucking Alan Hansen bottled it and stayed in telly. It's very hard to come back out of that to go back to the coalface, as it were. Steven Gerrard is doing it. I think that's a benefit to Liverpool to have him in there. But the problem is that we do this as though having a player could come back is the answer to all the problems. And I think maybe, in fact, if you've got examples, let us know in the comments. But I don't think it's ever necessarily the way forward.
No, it's.
There's no silver bullet, is there really?
I don't know. He's just throwing
magic bullet.
He's just throwing another
one.
Is that
a saying?
Well, if you're looking to kill werewolves,
killing werewolves. I mean,
if the problem is a werewolf that's killing your back line, that's ruining your defence, then
and if they're an ex-player, I mean, do you really want to shoot your ex-players?
if Van Helsing used to play left back for you in the reserves, then maybe it might help you out.
I think he might have. We bought him from Schalke in 1973.
You probably got him in some sort of shit sponsorship deal, didn't you?
Mate tinned meat.
Go on, Ross. What have we
Chris Spurray says Gareth Barry's going to break the Premier League record today. Which period of his career was he at his best?
Villa.
Everton.
Villa.
Man City.
He was at his best when he...
How many league titles did he win with you?
He was at his best when he absolutely fucked over the Liverpool team.
Yeah.
When they wanted to sign him, and it basically forced Xavi Alonso to say, "What the fuck? I'm leaving here."
Well, he didn't fuck us over. We fucked him over, which was the problem. Was that we talked about a lot of this about transfers and like clubs making promises to players. We clearly promised Gareth Barry, go and put a transfer request in, mate. We'll be fine. We'll buy you. And then they went, "Oh no, you bought Robbie Keane. Now all your money's gone." And Rafa was like,
"What?"
Well, I've just told Xabi Alonso to. I've basically done that bit where I've gone in and gone like that and bared my arse and called him a cunt, and then all of a sudden I've got to come back and apologise. But no, his best period. I'd
say City, when he was like at the base of that midfield, just pulling the strings and making sure everything was ticking over.
I think he's been a very consistent player for the whole of his career, and that's why he's played so many games. And
I think it's telling that you wouldn't say nobody raves about Gareth Barry. I made a case when we did this all-time Premier League 11 series last year, and I made a case for him as the DM in that team because of just the longevity that he's had. No one's ever going to say in fairness, he was better at footy than Patrick Vieira or Roy Keane or Steven Gerrard or whatever. But listen, it's telling that, look, Steven Gerrard, same age as him, grew up coming through the same levels of the England team with him. Steven Gerrard's been retired for 2 seasons now, and Gareth Barry's still playing in the Premier League.
But then maybe that comes down to the amount of games played over the season. He's only had one good spell, was at Man City for 2 years, where he's got a Premier League. Did he get an FA Cup as well?
Yeah,
so I'm glad he's done that as well. I'm glad he's got trophies out of his career as well, because he does deserve them. Because get a lot of these players who have longevity but don't win anything. So it's good that, and it's good that he wanted to further his career as well and keep playing every week, because he wouldn't have been playing for us every week, even though we still needed him at the club. Yeah. He's gone somewhere that he's going to play games every week, and he's still highly appreciated.
I think what you said, Paul, about Bobby Firmino, about how fans just love him, but other fans outside of the Liverpool sphere don't have a massive affinity to him. The exact same with Gareth Barry. I'm not sure if you felt that.
Yeah,
we loved him at Villa. He was our captain, obviously, but we just had so much affinity for him. And we had a joke on the terraces at Villa where he'd win man of the match all the time. We said it was fixed. We was just like, oh, it's got to be fixed, because he was just like, he's such a legend at the club.
I think there's something to be said as well for a player who's one of the few remaining players in the game who's in Champ Manager 2001, 2002, the best of the Champ
Wears
Managers.
boots as well.
And but he was a defender left centre back in the day.
He was.
There you go. Ross?
Moesi says, how long can Spurs keep hold of Kane and Ali with not willing to break their wage structure?
I fear for them, and just in the old social club, little asterisks, I genuinely hold no fear towards Spurs. Don't care whether it goes wrong for them or not.
Just knocking me up at night.
Put my Spurs hat on, if there was such a thing. I think there's one in here somewhere.
Got a joke? I won't say it.
They should.
Nope.
It's fine. It's live. Nope. It's live. Yeah. They might face a situation where they have to pick or choose, and that unless they do make some
drastic change.
And if you're ever going to make exceptions for this wage structure thing, I think it's a sensible way. I think it should be. They should be applauded for how they're approaching it. Spurs. I think they've built a good team with a good manager. They've given him time. They've backed him, but they're going to reach that ceiling, I think. And if they don't, and I think given the years that both those players have got ahead of them, someone's going to come in with a ludicrous bid next summer for one of them, and it wouldn't. And how do you stop players' heads being turned?
I think it only takes one of Kane and Ali. It only takes one phone call to one of their agents, and it teeters over the edge.
Look at the Danny Rose stuff. There's no way. Did we do this earlier on in the summer? There's no way Kyle Walker's not rang Danny Rose up and gone, mate, I'm earning 3 times as much money as you. And I'm going to win.
But the thing is that Rose less so is obviously integral to the first team. But if Kane or one of the kind of hallmark players rang his agent up, planted a story in the paper, it all teeters over then. And I think that'll be the turning point.
I think Ali'd be the one who's more likely to go, because he just seems like a bit of a bad type.
The word bell end you're looking for?
Maybe a bit stronger.
Is it a word that I said earlier that I'm not really meant to say on this show?
Nonsense.
It begins with
nonsense.
C,
Absolute nonsense. I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs board are talking to these two players and just saying,
look,
keep your powder dry. When we get to the new stadium, you're going to get contracts that will seriously look after you. Just keep your powder dry till then. We will look after you, but you're not going to get it now. You're going to get it in a couple of years' time when we've been in that stadium for a year. Stick with us. But again, then, is it about money? Maybe Dele Alli will turn around and go, well, hang on. I've been at this club for 3 years. We finished second and fifth or whatever. I wanted to go and sign for a club that's going to win things. He seems the type.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's going to be it's going to be a combination of money plus winnability. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. Being able to win trophies, because unfortunately players don't have those affinities. And you're right, Harry Kane's the one who's most likely to have it, but honestly, we just don't know, because I'd have said Phil Coutinho was the one most likely to have it at Liverpool as well, and Real Madrid.
All that born and bred Scouser, Philip Coutinho.
No, true, but I mean, in terms of he never seemed a player he's not. You can see Suarez, you can see there's a lad who's been climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Whereas I know Coutinho's kind of done it too, gone from Brazil to Inter Milan to Liverpool. But you never seen that way motivated. But all of a sudden, Real Madrid turn round to Harry Kane and go, lad, here's £250,000 a week, and you're gonna win the Champions League, and you're probably gonna win the Liga. I'm not sure they can. It's going to be hard to turn that down.
Even if he was on a decent contract.
Exactly. Even if harder when you're being told you can quadruple your money. Let's be honest. If money didn't talk, there'd be no one playing in China from Europe. You know what I mean? Brilliant question, though. Thank you very much, Ross.
Do you want random ones yet, or
go on? Give us a few. Actually, you know what? Let's have one more footy one, and let's see what the internet's changed up for us.
Sam Van Noy says, is Liverpool's style of play susceptible to defensive errors, or is it personnel issue?
It's both.
Okay, what's that one then? Random ones.
Missed that one.
FC34 #Jacket out says, what shampoo does Paul use?
Head and Shoulders.
Superb choice.
Okay. Mesut Ozil said, how does Pep feel about Ubers?
Not really hard.
Can we ask your opinion on the London Uber
Go
thing? What do you make of it all? Because just to clarify for people, you've been a private hire taxi driver for
11 years.
And
I do Ubers now because I can just
easier.
do when I want, because literally I do everything at Toffee TV. Everything I do.
Hi Baz.
Hi Baz. No, I do. I spend a lot of time at Toffee TV, but it's a good way of topping. That's what's there for. Everything, Baz.
Apologies, headphone users.
Just finished me 36 hours fucking.
Well, that's up to you, isn't it?
Next one,
that's up to you, isn't it? You're not mic'd up. No one's asked. No, I mean the thing about it is, right, Uber. I can only talk about them here. It's all very well managed, and we have certain things in Liverpool that take everything out the taxi company's hands, so that they are checked by everybody, and there are police checks and CRBs and all that kind of
different
thing.
Laws for different
I don't
regions,
understand why that doesn't happen in London. But what you're going to remember is if 40,000 drivers work for them, those 40,000 people will all want jobs working for other companies. If that's how many, I don't know if that's true. Will all want, and that's 40,000 people now who will be claiming benefits. Well done. And they'll be going to work for somebody else. So it's not Uber's fault if the London Council or whoever, because I know London's a big place, are not screening. They should be the ones screening. In Liverpool, that happens. We're checked rigorously. Just check that we're not fake.
So does the council? So the council checks you?
Yeah, they check. Oh, the council I work for check me.
So TfL have outsourced.
And then Uber, and then they go to, and then Uber just go, well, have you got all the details?
South.
And that's it.
Okay,
you wanted an answer.
A very good answer.
I'm just supposed to blame the Tories.
Tories, mate. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Nonsense.
From Chris Pajak, if your team's top striker was a superhero, who would it be and why?
If
Umam Nias would be the Invisible Man.
So is that if I could pick a superhero to be my centre forward, or
no? If your team's top striker was a superhero, so if Firmino was a superhero, which one would he be? And why?
Oh, Firmino would be like. I guess so. No, I want to clarify this because I need to make sure we're answering this correctly. Yeah. Is it like, do I have to invent a superhero name for him?
No, he has to be a superhero.
So like,
it's not hard, lad.
So Teeth Whitening Man would obviously be Bobby Firmino. No, who would he be? I don't know.
Bobby Firmino. I'm trying to think of The Mask. You had really.
The Mask. I've got the grip for it. Yeah, absolutely. Go on, who?
Jonathan Codger.
Who?
Jonathan Codger. He's a star striker,
old?
mate. No, he's sick. He's like 27, 26.
Jonathan Codger sounds like the alternative ego of a superhero. The name.
He calls himself.
Jonathan Codger turns into Cockman.
He calls himself Jimmy Danger because he's just such a danger.
He calls himself Jimmy Danger. Oh my God, he's a danger to kids.
You need to see his Instagram. It's great. But yeah, he
sounds a hoot.
Yeah, he's. I'd say Spider-Man because he's like very bow-legged and like quite all over the place.
He
on the
jizzes
pitch.
Everywhere.
What? No, it's just me. When I watch him play.
What?
Cheers, Peds.
Jimmy Danger.
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Well, he looks like a bit like the Hulk, doesn't he? So,
yeah, that's probably the closest you get.
What's the superhero that's most like Shrek? Is that what you went for there? Well, he's big and green, isn't he? Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, Mo Salah, The Flash.
That's nice. Yeah, enjoyed that one.
Go on.
One more from Chris Pajak.
You shoot blue stuff down the toilet.
If you had to shag your dad every day for the rest of your life,
Are we still live? Not being funny, right? Every week we have a meeting about things I'm not allowed to say. And then Pajak can come in the comments and talk about shagging his dad.
I'm not finished yet. And the only way to end that was to shag your mum. What would you do?
What?
Support the Blues. Support the Blues.
I think I preferred the football questions.
Yeah.
I was asking for like, I was thinking, who's your favourite player? That's fine. Well done, Ross.
Like what TV programme are you currently watching? Or
Let us know your answers to that question in the comments.
yeah, we'll put that one out to the audience.
Just watching the powers that be at Ball Street going, oh my God.
God.
pull the plug, pull the plug. Yeah, keep questions coming in. We'll take some for next week's show as well. Obviously, you can get involved.
Can we finish on
tweeting
something
at Ball
like
Street.
better than that?
Have we got one? God, have you got anything that's not going to land us in a court case? You've really not, have you?
I've got serious ones, yeah.
You've misjudged this terribly, haven't you?
Well, at least Christian blame me, Chris.
You've taking Pajak questions. That's where you've gone wrong. One more.
Should Mark Noble be starting for a Premier League club?
No, shit.
No, he's
Plays
fine.
for West Ham.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He's the perfect example of that player that is like within his own club, but no one gets it outside. Outside the club, will definitely do more on that. I think
there's too many players that can play pass sideways.
He has
done
an
that job,
unbelievable
so.
ability to become a really good footballer when he plays against us. There's probably another question in there as well. Players who turn into absolute world, but Ian Marshall for Leicester just scored goals only against Liverpool.
He's got a really good ability to only performing like really well once in every 10 games and then being like man of the match and like praised by the
isn't he in the
media.
England squad?
Yeah, praised by the media and like given a red carpet down like, interesting. Yeah,
Shite.
pretty
That's what
much.
Mark Noble is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Utter shite.
West Ham fans, let us know your thoughts on Mark Noble in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching the shows this week. So 2 more shows coming up. We've pre-recorded them. They should be live around and about now on the Ball Street YouTube channel. So we talked about players that are similar to what we've discussed there, who've been getting written off too soon. Obviously, Umar Niasse coming in at the cold to bail Everton out of the shit lately. And also players like Leroy Sané, whether he or anyone else are the player to be the next big thing in the Premier League. 2 videos, you can go and watch them right now. Subscribe to Ball Street by clicking the logo on the screen if you're watching this non-live. Comments below, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to Toffee TV, to Mates TV, and get on James on Twitter as well, at James M.R. Clark.
He's got it. He's got it.
Yes, it's the second time I've done it. I should have been fine. And of course, obviously, I say please do subscribe to Ball Street. Get the videos first. And we'll be back with more Social Club next week. In the meantime, though, later this week, Flav will be doing the things that he does, being funny on videos. Definitely we're tuning in for. And then the Long Ball Street podcast as well on the Long Ball Street channel. Go on and get yourself involved with all that stuff. And we'll be back with the best show on the Ball Street Network. It's Social Club.